Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Oh no, a new song is starting. No. Wait. Okay, wonderful. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Oh, it's very bright in here. Let's see how that looks on the webcam. Actually, not too bad. It's just bright for me, but it doesn't look too bad on camera. Hello, everybody. Hi, welcome to the stream. Hello. Apparently, I'm just rotating into the ether. This is my least favorite thing. My least favorite thing that this chair does. I've noticed that sometimes it does it more if the chair is lifted. It's not helping. Whatever. So, some of you might be wondering, might be like, wait, but Sam is also streaming. What's the plan here? Where is the child? So this is not a preschool day for Clarke. Clarke is home. Sam is streaming because he has early access to Monster Hunter, and it's open now. So Clarke is having her quiet time. When her quiet time is done, I will have to go. So it's going to be a short stream today, but we are doing our study hall stream in the evening. So we'll still be doing 2 streams. There'll just be 2 short streams today. So there you go. There's your answer ahead of time. I thought you were going to say Clarke is streaming. Oh my God. So you know how Clarke is like really into RP right now? So we came in here because she was helping me with my pre-show, and she was like, I will be mommy and you will be Clarke. And I was like, okay. So she would try to do something and then go, Clarke, I can't figure it out. And then I would do it. And be like, there you go, mommy. And she'd be like, thank you. And then it got to the point where I was like, okay, well, now it's time for quiet time. Our pre-show is going. We're doing the thing, right? So I was like, it's time for quiet time. And she was like, no, it is your time for quiet time, and I have to work. And I was like, no, I think the RP's done now. I think the RP's done now, and you go to quiet time and I will work. She tried. She really tried. So updates. Yesterday was the fabled, the mysterious D&D game with my in-laws. So the players were Sam, and then his sister Nancy, and his parents. And it was so fun. Really, really fun. Poor dad, we made him a fighter, and I think he successfully hit something maybe twice. The rest of the time he rolled 3s, 4s, 2s, just over and over and over again. It was awful. I felt so bad for him. At a certain point, he was like, I guess I'll just, because I put down that his background was like that he was a former soldier, right? She's like, I guess I'll just sit by the river and think about what a fighter I used to be. It's like, oh no. And on one of those bad rolls, so I did the same sort of thing that I did for Rotting Maw, where I had everybody like, or no, I didn't do it for Rotting Maw. For my play by post game, where I had everybody establish like bonds, like why they know each other, and Dad and Sam decided that they have like a friendly rivalry. So literally, Sam's dad's character had run up to this orc and went to attack it, whiffed once, whiffed twice, whiffed 3 times. Sam's character, who's a barbarian, walks up and is like, let me show you how it's done, and literally does so much damage that it just cleaves the orc in half. I was like, okay. We're like, oh no. No, Sam wasn't a cleric. Sam got really excited to be a beast barbarian, built a beast barbarian, and then came to the table and was like, oh no. I just realized I was supposed to be the healer. And I was like, well, I can just retune Nancy so that she has cure wounds. She has good berries currently. I can give her cure wounds so that she has a heal. You know, Mom can get temporary hit points because of a warlock ability. Like, it's fine. Everybody will be fine. And Nancy was like, are you saying I get extra spells? Are you giving me extra spells right now? And I was like, no. I'm replacing one of your spells with cure wounds. And she was like, but I was so proud of Nancy. She kept like, so I gave them the option. I basically like sent all of them their characters. So they all like registered with D&D Beyond, which I have thoughts on trying to run a campaign actually through D&D Beyond now. But anyways, so I do really like their character sheets. So I gave them all of their character sheets. I was like, you can print these off and use them physically. You know, I dropped off dice for them. Like, you can use them physically with your dice. You can use the app. It's going to be a lot easier to like quickly see what each of your spells do and all of that stuff with the app. But you know, it's totally up to you, just so that you have options. And Nancy was like, I like the dice. I'm going to use the paper and the dice. And so everybody else felt like peer pressured into using their paper and their dice as well. And occasionally when we would be like, fuck, what does that spell do? They would just look it up on the app instead. But Nancy, like, there were so many times. Like, at one point, she was like, oh, I'm really worried because her little dragon, so she's a Drake Warden. I gave both her and Mum Unearthed Arcana stuff, which might not have been super smart, but it just worked for what they're trying to do, and this way we get to see it because it's new. But so she has a little Drake that's like her familiar, right, as a ranger. And she was like, my Drake is surrounded by wolves. I'm like so scared for it. And then she looked down and she goes, I would like my Drake to take the dodge action. And I was like, okay. She was like, right? That's right. That's a good idea, right? And we were like, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, you're if you don't want your Drake to attack, it can take the dodge action. Absolutely. And she's like, okay, cool. Yeah, I want to do that. And then at one point, really early on in the campaign, really early on in the one shot, somebody tried to say something and everyone was like, wait, you can't talk. It's like so-and-so's turn. And I was like, you guys can talk. Like, talking is a free action. It's totally fine to talk. And, like way later on, they were in the middle of a fight and Nancy's character was like trying to explain something, like an idea or like a plan. And Sam's mom was like, okay, well, we need to stop chit-chatting. You need to just take your turn. And Nancy was like, excuse me, talking is a free action. It was amazing. She got so into it. It was great. She was like, really? Sam was telling me, because I didn't notice this, but I was like, I love how into it Nancy got. And he was like, I don't think that you noticed, but if you were watching their feed, if you were watching them, whenever you were like, okay, Nancy, with that perception roll, you notice, or like you see blah, 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 blah. He was like, anytime you told her that she saw something that nobody else did, she would like in character go like look off into the distance. It's amazing. I love it. So Nancy had a blast. Poor dad just kept missing, kept whiffing like absolutely every hit, and got really tired by the end there. We actually didn't finish the one shot because he needed to go to bed for work, but they were like, oh, do you think, could we play again next week and we can finish it? Which is hilarious because so my mother-in-law, if you saw my tweet, you know where this is going. So my mother-in-law was like, I want to be somebody who's like cursed to be young, or like something like that, has some kind of a curse going on with them and can do magic. And I was like, okay. So we decided to do one of the Unearthed Arcana things is a Warlock of the Undead, which you essentially like serve a lich. And it's cool because it has things like, as a bonus action, you can turn into like a horrific looking thing. And if you successfully attack something, it has to roll to not be frightened by you, which totally came in handy at one point. But like, I had listed on her sheet, like, the thing that you're serving is evil. And she saw that and she was like, so I'm evil, huh? And I was like, you serve an evil thing, right? Like Zach vibes. Like, you serve an evil thing. It doesn't mean that you're evil, but you serve an evil thing. And she was like, right, so I'm evil. I was like, if you want to be evil, you can be evil, but you don't have to be evil. And she was like, I was like, okay. So yeah. So she's like, from the get-go is doing things like, she made a successful Arcana check and knew what a scroll did. And I was like, you can tell everybody else what the scroll does. And she was like, no. Okay. And she was like really suspicious of an NPC and kept rolling terrible insight checks. So I was like, you can't really tell. You're not totally sure. Like, they're like, maybe they're telling the truth, but you're not positive, which just fueled this fire of her being like, I don't trust this character whatsoever. So it got to like a tipping point where she kept being like, you guys go ahead. I'm just going to stay behind with so-and-so. And everyone was like, no. You're definitely going to try to kill them. And she was like, no, I'm not. No. What are you talking about? So they killed this like underling, and they were going to confront the boss, so to speak. And Sam was like, oh my God, you have disguised self. You should disguise yourself as the underling, and then you can walk in first, and you can like pitch that, we're all working with you, and that we caught this guy. And she was like, that's a great idea. So she used disguised herself as that orc, right? Walked in. The guy's like, hello, welcome back. I see you have new companions. And she was like, no, kill them. And everyone else was like, what? She was like, they attacked us. They were trying to get me to come here and say that they were my companions, but they're not. We need to kill them. And everybody was like, what? And then they all roll initiative. Mom gets to go first, and she just kills the NPC. And the guy goes, wait, but you're not. Essentially like, you're not so-and-so because he couldn't do magic. So what the fuck was that? And then Mom was like, oops. And so the big boss like runs off into a back room. And everyone's like, but we're still in initiative because we're going to kill Mom. And she was like, now hold on. This was all part of my plan. I didn't actually intend to attack you guys. And they were like, no, no. It was incredible. It was amazing. And at that point is when they were like, we really need to go to sleep. But But Mom was the one who was like, oh, but we should play again next week. And everyone was like, what do you mean? Next week is literally going to be us murdering you, and then it's going to be over. And she was like, no, we're companions. You just don't understand what my plan was. Sam was like, if everybody wants to, like, now that you know how the game works, if everybody wants to, like, come up with new characters and we can start with a new thing, we can totally do that, because let's be real, Mom's dying next session, that guy's dying next session, and then that's going to be the end of it. And Mom was like, no, guys. Guys, please. It was so funny. And she had like a +6 to deception or something, and rolled awful. Just rolled so bad every time she had to try and deceive somebody. So that's what playing with my in-laws was like, and I think they all had fun. I wish that Dad had at least one moment where he felt like really cool, you know? The Christmas quiz makes more sense now. Yeah, she's a chaos being for sure. Yeah, it was a lot of, you guys just don't see the bigger picture. Like I'm you know, I'm seeing everything for what it is. She had basically convinced herself that the NPC that was like, please, you have to help me, she was like, that's the bad guy. He's pulling one over on us, kept rolling insight, kept failing insight checks, was like, there's something weird about him. I don't know what it is, and I can't prove it, but there's something weird about this guy. Met the actual bad guy, and was like, no. I'm positive that's the bad guy. This weedy character, that's the bad guy. And everybody was like, what are you talking about? So, there you go. What were their character names? I think they used a fantasy name generator. So Mom was Assisi. I found like pictures and just used them on the D&D Beyond sheets. So like that was Assisi. And then Dad was Beothvor. This guy. And then Nancy was Cyrene. So those were their characters. And Sam was Ugg. Sam was a half-orc named Ugg. So this was my first time trying to use, I know that they constantly say like, oh, D&D Beyond is always in beta, perpetually in beta, but like, so I've only ever used it for character sheets, which I think that their character sheets are really good. Very, very quality of life, like just lots of stuff that you don't have to really think about, and pretty easy to read, I would say. But I was like, oh, you can create encounters in this, which is really nice, because people had already homebrewed with the one shot that we used. People had already homebrewed those characters. So I was like, amazing. So I'll just grab those characters off of other people's homebrews, whichever ones are listed as being like good, and then create the encounter. And then that'll be so much easier, because then I just type in everybody's initiative. And if they take damage, then I decrease it on that character. And like, that's all there is to it. That's wonderful. So the encounters, if a character changes anything about themselves. So, for example, right? Everybody had loaded into the game. For some reason, one of the characters was uh, level 3 and the rest were level 4. And I was like, oh, weird. So I went in there, changed them to level 4, like leveled them up, went back into the encounter, and it would not register that they were level 4. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll take them all out of the encounter and then put them back in. And it still was like, that character's level 3. And I was like, no, it's not. I've deleted it and put it back in there. And if you were to read the current sheet, they are level 4. So then, oh yeah, and then there was also a thing where Sam took his character out of the campaign. I can't remember why. Took his character out of the campaign and then put it back in. And then when I tried to start the encounter, it just didn't think Sam existed at all. So he wasn't on the encounter list. He wasn't on like the initiative roll, the turn order. So I had to remember when he was supposed to go, and I skipped him like twice. I felt so bad. And of course, because it's Sam, every time I skipped him, he was like, guess I just won't get a turn. It's like, fuck off. Go, take your turn. I'm sorry. And then one of the encounters listed everybody as having 0 health, no matter what I did. So I had to give everybody temporary hit points equal to their health. It was so dumb. It's like, why is it like this? Why is it doing this? Yeah. So it has the potential to be really good. It does a thing where like you add stuff in and it tries to guess the challenge rating. So, if like, say in this scenario, it was 4 things to fight. And it was like, this will be hard, but it's not impossible, right? And the more things that you put in there, it kind of fills up a bar. And if the bar is all the way full, then it's like, this is too much. This is too much for this group. Which, you know, you can decide for yourself if you think that's true or not. But yeah. So the encounter system was just a mess. And I don't know how to make it better. So I'm probably just going to do the encounter like normal with a sheet next time. KFC for encounter building? What is KFC? KFC encounter calculator? Is this it? Kobold Fight Club. Oh, look at this. Interesting. Manage an encounter. Manage players. Run an encounter. Yo, I've never seen this before. I'll use this next time. That's great. Kobold Fight Club is what it's called. That's very good. Yo, thank you for that. Yeah, that's great. There was an ad redemption. I know. I prefer the D&D Beyond Encounter Builder to KFC because it has monsters outside of the monster manual and lets you play with players in different levels in the same party. Oh, yeah, because I am noticing that you have to say, like, this many players at this level. Yeah. That wouldn't be a problem for any of the games that I run because I do milestones. So nobody's ever at a different level. KFC lets you use monsters from a lot of different books, including Homebrew, and you can also add players of different levels. Oh, there you go. Maybe it's been updated since last time you saw it, or last time you used it. Yeah, I will definitely keep this. That's awesome. But I think the sheet that I made before, if you guys recall, the combat tracker that I worked on a study hall before, I might do something like that for my in-laws as well. If we're going to be like stopping in the middle of fights and stuff. Because they have, understandably, they have hard cutoffs of like when they have to go to bed. So. Oop. Here we go. Yeah, it does make me wonder if like I don't know. I didn't want to do anything too like complicated. But to be fair, both Nancy and Mom wound up having lots of options for things that they could do, whereas Dad was mostly just swing, right? Just swing and roll well, and unfortunately, he didn't really roll very well. But also the other thing that I was thinking was that he, out of everybody, was the one that was kind of cajoled into playing. And I think by the time, oh my God, raining very hard suddenly. And I think by the time everybody was playing, or by the time the day got there, everybody was excited to play. Like Mom was saying, like, you know, after a year and some change, the sort of stuff that they're consistently doing is really boring right now. So they were like, we're kind of excited to do something completely different from what we normally do. But Dad was a fighter, yeah. I know, that's the thing, right? As I was like, if he could just successfully hit, he would do so much damage. But what are you going to do? There was a point where, oh my God. So this orc. That's right. Sam killed the bear, but the orc was still alive. The orc had like a decent amount of health. And there was just a fucking ridiculous scenario of him running away. He was trying to get away. So he started running. Dad threw an axe and it hit him. And Nancy shot an arrow, and the arrow hit him. And then everyone was like, awesome, we can do this. We can totally just ranged weapon this guy to death. Incredible. And the next, I want to say, 3 rounds of attacks, every single attack whiffed. Every single one. So, like, through the second axe, it missed. Shooting arrows, they're all missing. Mom's eldritch blasting, they're all missing. It was insane. I was like, I mean, he's screaming a lot, but he's still running. It's insane. AC was 16, I think. It's amazing. They're level 4. I wanted to give them like fun stuff to do. And level 4 is when you can have your first like point upgrade. So yeah, or a feat. I know. What are you gonna do? Da 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 da. I'm a little confused on that. So last time we watched a video, right, that was like, I want a drink or something, or do you want a drink? And it was the drinking and then pointed at the person, right? So I'm looking at a video now that's I want to drink, and you point to yourself first. I want coffee, or I want tea. Yeah. Is it different for a question? Maybe? Wingspan's just chilling on the floor. Yeah. I gotta find somebody to play that with me now, too. Well, when the world opens. I'm so excited that, like, everybody that we played D&D with yesterday has their vaccines, which is awesome. So I'm like, oh my gosh. If Sam and I can get ours eventually, whenever Sam and I get ours, we could actually, like, play in person, which would be amazing. No, it's want coffee you. That's what we saw last time. But I'm saying this time I'm confused because I want coffee is I want coffee. How do you respond? Yes, please. You could just say yes. Yes. I think. But again, I'm learning. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna, I mean, I have speculated a little bit, but I'm not gonna seriously speculate because I am a student, so. Cat gang. Is there a game today? We're only doing a 2-hour stream because Sam has requested that I be on mom duty today so that he can monster hunt until his back breaks in half. So. So we're just hanging. That sounds dangerous. It is. How long has he been playing? I mean the like, what's the word that I'm looking for? The time that it was legal for them to show it uh was 11 a.m. today. So Sam basically was like, "Hey, honey, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I was like, "All my normal streams." And he was like, "Yeah, what are those? Remind me, what do you do on a Thursday?" I was like, "Well, I have my normal stream at 1 o'clock, and then I have an evening stream, and then I have a meeting after my evening stream." And he was like, "Okay, I was gonna ask if you could do an evening stream instead of an afternoon stream, but you do both. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool." Monster Hunter is happening tomorrow at 11 a.m. and I was wondering if you would be down to cover me. It's like, sure, no problem, honey. I got you. Love of my life. What do you do usually on a Thursday? I keep saying that we really need to put like little like laminated schedules on our doors that are like, these are the things I normally do on these days. But then we can write on them with like a dry erase if we need to add anything on. It is Wingspan. I still have not played it. I just bought it because it kept getting suggested, and yeah, I'm hoping that once I'm allowed to have people in my home, that someone will play it with me, because apparently it's very fun. I got this and a game called Everdell. It's like a territory game that's, I guess, pretty easy to learn. And I think that was it. Oh, Wingspan's probably the prettiest board game I've ever played. Is Clarke still into playing Catan? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was pitched as like an easier route. Everdell was. Because Route's pretty complicated because everybody has different rules. But yeah. Everdell is nothing like Route. I have yet to play it, so. I used to come here all the time. What's up? Welcome back. Did you and Sam try making a new recipe for dinner? No. No. Because we were trying to get Clarke into bed, and I was trying to prep for D&D, so we just didn't really have time. So we had fish and chips. I know. That's 1 month. 1 month of no Wednesday recipes. But after D&D was done, we watched all the new anime, and goddamn, Jujutsu Kaisen just doesn't miss. Every episode looks incredible. Yeah, we're up to date with slime. Up to date with slime, jujutsu, and stone. I need to get back on Jujutsu Kaisen. It's been really good. Dr. Cosmosis, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the Cat Gang.
Welcome, you fine cat-loving, coffee-drinking...
A Slime is originally a light novel, right? Not a manga? Hmm. Cells at Work, as far as I know, is on Netflix. I don't know where else you can watch it. Yeah, sorry, I don't remember who it was that just asked, but if you want to hear how Family D&D went, yeah, you can watch the VOD. Oh, thank you, Cosmosis. That's very sweet. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for the support. Yeah, we're just hanging and chatting today. Because I can only do a couple hours, so. Short stream today, but I appreciate y'all being here. How's Hollow Knight going? Yeah, it's going good. I have like a bunch of notes and things written up, and I've been trying to squeaky clean my understanding of the rules. But probably once we play again, something's gonna happen and I'm gonna be like, But what can you do? I did talk to Joe, yeah. He had really good insight. There were a couple of things that I wanted to run by him. They were things that I've planned to do in this campaign since the beginning, but I hadn't really like talked about them with a DM. And so I basically went to Joe and I was like, "Can I bounce a couple of these ideas off of you, and you can tell me if they're like, if you think that they work?" Something that I think, at least something that as a perpetual player that I appreciate in a DM is not having my character be forced into any kind of a situation, right? That like at the end of the day, like what the character does is up to me. And fate's a little tricky that way, right? Because there are compels. But again, you get to decide whether or not you accept the compel, unless you have no fate points left. But, just overall. So there were a couple of things that I really wanted to do in this game to sort of like utilize the fate system in an interesting way. And so I was running them by Joe to basically be like, are these things that you think help or hinder the game? And so we kind of talked through them and sort of made the ideas better and clearer. So I'm glad that I talked with him about it. But yeah. Skater, I completely understand that. They said, I want to DM, but I'm scared I'm going to make a boring story. That's literally my nightmare. It's me being like, I just don't want everybody to be bored. I just want everybody to have fun. Yeah, I think that, so one of the things that's nice about a one-shot is there's less of like a feeling from the players of, ugh, being railroaded, right? I'm being like shoved into like I can only do these things, or like I have to go this way. In a one shot, if you're like, this is the story, there's less pushback on that sort of a thing, and it helps you It helps you sort of practice a bit easier because you're not, I mean, your players are still going to do shit that you didn't expect or things that you didn't really think of. And that's all part of the fun. And like, you get to practice the improv element that way. But in terms of like the story beats in a one shot, overall, the story beats can still progress the same. Or at the very least, in a one shot, you can be like, okay, you're in this dungeon, right? Like, the way back is sealed. You can't leave the dungeon. So here you go, right? You can do things to sort of constrain the variables to let you practice stuff. And also that's what pre-mades are for. You know, I've learned to love pre-mades now. Pre-mades are great because they are already put together stories. You don't have to worry about being like, oh man, you know, I hope that I made a thing that people are going to like. And if they don't like it, I'm going to take it really personally and be really upset about it. There are people making pre-made one shots all the time that you can use. Yeah, we looked at Honey Heist the other day. Have you ever tried getting really good at a competitive game? The only game that I feel like I really got like really good at is Towerfall. And people didn't keep playing that game because it didn't have online support. So it was just me by myself playing Towerfall and being like, I wish I had somebody that I could play with. That would be tight. A Minesweeper, yeah. I'm a competitive Minesweeper player. Plants vs. Zombies rabbit hole. Oh my god. Laura Shigihara was telling me that like there are some places in the world where Plants vs. Zombies is still like a huge deal. Like people love it. And I was like, I haven't thought about Plants vs. Zombies in years. It is pouring rain. Oh my god, all my plants I got this morning. I hope they're okay. I hope nothing gets knocked over. Clarke and I went to the garden center today and we got a bunch of flowers and a little strawberry plant. They're not planted though, guys. They're just in little pots outside. They're gonna get blown over. I know. Clarke picked like 3 different plants that I have no idea what they are. So I guess I'll figure that out and what those like. All I know, she just kept seeing, the little picture would be like, it should look something like this. And she'd be like, pretty flower, and just grab it. And I was like, I don't know what any of these are, but I trust you, honey. Whatever you want to grab, go for it. So this is my first time going to, this was B&Q. This was my first time going to B&Q ever since moving here. pretty much we still only go to the grocery store. And we've now been through drive-thrus a few times. Drive-thrus have gotten very streamlined. I got my first coffee. There's a drive-through Costa. I did a drive-through Costa and got a coffee. And I knew that it would fuck up my stomach, so I shared it. Clarke and Sam and I all shared it. Brought it home. That was very fun. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't had one of these like overblown, super sugary lattes in over a year. That's wild. And yeah, we still don't really do much. Which, I mean, I think is fine. But, you know, the big one for me is in April, I'm supposed to be going to a salon to finally get my hair done for the subathon goal. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody's going to be really close to my face for like a really long time. But they have to wear a mask. I have to wear a mask. People are getting vaccinated now. There isn't as much stress about it. I feel okay with making that appointment, but yeah. Have you seen Inspector Waffles games? I don't think so. We started. There's a new, not to heel turn, but there's a new kids show, the Michelle Obama kids show on Netflix called Waffles and Mochi. That's actually so fucking cute. It's really, really cute. Waffles and Mochi. They learn about different types of foods and where they come from and how to cook them, and it's so cute. Yeah, Netflix kept being like, do you want to watch Waffles and Mochi? And I was like, I guess, fuck. So we turned it on, and it's definitely one of those situations where I was like, this is so cute. I love this. And Clarke was like, I want to watch something else. So I guess I'm just going to watch it by myself. No, we haven't been watching Attack on Titan. I hear this last season is very good though. I'm friends with a handful of stylists, and they're really serious about keeping their shops clean because they really don't want to close again, I bet. What are Clarke's favorite shows these days? We haven't been watching a ton of TV lately. She's really into like alphabet stuff. So she asks to watch Alpha Blocks, but there's also an Alpha Blocks game on the tablet. So most of the time, if she's like, can I watch Alpha Blocks? We'll turn it on. Then she'll go, I want to play the game. And then we'll play the Alpha Blocks game instead. What has she been watching? It's a great question. We've gotten back into Pablo in a big way. Pablo is still like one of my favorite kids shows ever. But no, we haven't been watching TV a whole lot. Yeah, Peppa's a thing sometimes, not super often, but it's kind of like you can tell that she asks for Peppa when she doesn't intend to actually watch TV. It's like a weird toddler version of like, I'm going to put Friends on. I'm not going to watch it. I just want something on that I like while I'm cleaning, right? It's like that. So she'll like be playing with Play-Doh and be like, Mommy, can we turn on Peppa? She doesn't want to watch it. She just wants Peppa on in the background. I totally get that. I don't like silence. I love silence, which is really odd because I love music. But I've never been the sort of person that just wants music on. I don't know why. I have no idea why. The only thing I can think of is that I literally grew up like in the woods. So it was just always quiet. I got very used to like just no sounds really. But I've always had friends who were like, no, I hate when it's quiet. I hate it. So yeah. Yeah, that's what it is for a lot of people. Either like silence makes them uneasy, or um, some sort of background noise actually helps them be more productive, right? For me, it's if I'm trying to relax, absolute quiet is the best way for me to relax, or like outdoor noises. Um, so but as I've said a few times recently, I definitely have like um uh I get overloaded with noise. So there can't be like two sounds around me that are competing noises. I feel like I need to like leave the room. So I guess I have kind of the opposite problem where it's like my brain wants it to be quiet most of the time so badly that if there's more than one dominant sound around me, I can't focus on either of them. And I get really like anxious, which Sam doesn't get at all. To his credit, he doesn't understand it, but if I like if I leave the room, he knows why, and sometimes he'll come and be like, "Did you leave because I had something playing on my phone but the TV was also on?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, but it's fine. I'm fine with being in a different area of the house." And sometimes he'll be like, "It's fine. I'm not doing anything on my phone anymore. If you want to come back and like hang out." But yeah. Yeah, my dear old pal Sam. Oh my gosh, I'm so sleepy. He doesn't get it, but he also doesn't want you to be uncomfortable. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think a certain amount of like, you're going to be the partner that I plan to live with for the rest of my life. A certain amount of that is going to be, we are not the same person. And so there are things that you're going to do or things that you're going to tell me that are not going to make any sense to me, but I will do my best to understand them, or at the very least I will do my best to understand how to help you, right? Even if I don't get it on like a molecular level, I will learn what the sequence of steps are to assist with it. I grew up in a small house with three siblings in the city. White noise is important to my focus. And so you grew up on a farm in the middle of nowhere. Silence is important to you in the same way. I guess that's true. Yeah. That would be a very simple way to put it. I remember I visited a friend when I was a kid. And their sister went to bed, and their sister slept on like in like a loft area. Um and I remember walking by them to get into my friend's bedroom. We were doing like a sleepover to get into my friend's bedroom, and I was like, how can your sister sleep there? Because like the TV was on downstairs. Her parents were like down there just like talking at full volume. we were like walking back and forth, like brushing our teeth and like getting ready for bed and getting into her room. And I was like, how the fuck, your sister is like dead asleep, like passed out asleep. And my friend was like, yeah, she can sleep through anything. It's actually like kind of impossible to wake her up. And we talked about it a while longer, and I was like, oh, maybe she can sleep that way because it's always like this. And I wonder about that with Clarke too. She almost seems to sleep better if there's a bunch of noise in the house, because her entire, like her entire last year of life was sleeping with Sam directly above her, yelling while he would play games, and she would sleep right through it. And then she's now in the room next to me, and I try not to be too loud, but I know sometimes I am, and she sleeps through it, right? And so I'm like, I wonder if the sound of talking has become something that's like soothing to help her sleep. I don't know. Yeah, we've never, like, she still can sleep if, I'm not streaming or if there's no noise. We've never given her a white noise machine or anything like that. Well, when she was a baby, when she was like an itty bitty baby, because one of the things that you can do for newborns is give them white noise to replicate how the womb sounded, etc. So yeah, I used a white noise app on my phone to help her sleep when she was a newborn. But other than that, she's never had like a white noise machine or anything. It's just us talking. Us talking, I guess, is is it. Mike Vol, so low, I leave, cry face. Sorry, bud. I hope you have a wonderful day. I stay. I don't know why that is, and I don't know what I can do to fix it. But as I've said before, on my end, it's saying that I am nearly peaking for me. I know that everybody's always like, Dodgers streams are always quieter than other streams, but like literally my audio, according to my system, is nearly peaking. So this is the level I can have it at, where I know that if I elevate a little bit more for whatever reason, it's not going to destroy your ears. So that's all I got. Your system is into ASMR, maybe. Like, I'm just trying to relax, bud. I do use OBS, yeah. I think that there's like an automatic reaction for me of if I see my audio like consistently in the red, I get a little bit concerned because for so many years, if I got excited while I was playing something, my entire chat would blow up into like rip headphone users. So, yeah. You think it's just the way that I talk? Maybe. Or Jesse would invade and kill everyone's ears. There's also that. Yeah. Okay, really quick. I may be a little too chill today. I'm going to get a little bit more coffee and a water. So we'll take a quick break and run some ads. And then we'll chitty chat for another hour or so, okay? So BRB. Enjoy the music. I looked so angry when I swapped over. Hello, everyone. I forgot to get water, but it's fine. I'll drink a lot of water later, I swear. I found my hat, by the way. I found it. What a delight. So happy. I've been doing the loom knitting, right? So I was talking about it with Sam's mom, and she was like, "Oh, I actually used to do that quite a bit." And we were talking about how Sam's mom has some health problems, and one of the things that it affects, it does brain stuff, and it affects like how her hands work. And we were talking about it, and Sam was like, "That would probably be so good for you to get back into, because it's like a repetitive like hand exercise basically, and you would be able to like make hats or whatever." And so she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll have to go and like maybe get one of those or something." And so when I dropped off the dice, I got, because the loom set that I got was all like long ones, and you can also get circular ones. I just got a set of circular ones and then gave her 2 circular ones and 2 long ones, and then kept 2 circular ones and 2 long ones, and gave her like a thing of yarn and stuff, and was like, "Here you go." And so she messaged and was like, "Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much." But I started trying to do one of the circular ones today. And Clarke has decided that the best thing that you can do with yarn is use it to pretend to fish. So I'll start doing something, and she'll be like, "Mommy, cut me off some yarn." Be like, "Okay." Undo what I'm doing, because with the loom knitting, you can't just like cut it and pick. I mean, you can, but it's like a pain in the ass. So I just undo and then cut off some for her and hand it to her, and then start over and start looming again. And she'll just sit there with yarn and just like toss it out and like pretend that she's catching fish. And occasionally she'll be like, "Mommy, come be a fish. Mommy, come be a fish for me. Mommy, we're playing the fishing game." So I was like, "Look, 3 of us are looming now, loom knitting. One of them is only, sometimes into it, but 3 of us are technically all loom knitting now." Level 99 fishing. She watched a video about fishing and was like, "Mommy, can I go fishing with all of my friends?" And I was like, I don't think we can do that anytime soon. But to be honest, Mommy also doesn't know how to fish. It's like, so if we go fishing, we would all have to learn how to fish together. Sam is looming? Yeah. Yeah, it's me, Sam, and his mom. We're all looming. We loomin'. Yeah, dude, they're fun. Looms are great. And you can make your own if you want. If you got some like little pieces of wood around, some nails, it's basically what you need. Loom hero. I know, I get that. I get that feeling of like, that looks very fun. Glances to the side, sees 18 half-finished projects. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe next time. So loom knitting is super easy. Very accessible. Really, really, really easy. You can find sets for it pretty easily. I see them at like the supermarket all the time, or you can get them online. But yeah, they like, if you watch my study hall from last week, we did loom knitting. I made a scarf. I made a little Paddington Bear hat for my for my daughter's teddy, by accident. It wasn't intended to be that, but it just wound up being that. It's very quick and very easy. I think that there are more complicated things you can do with it, but like the simplest way to use it is very easy to get into. It sounds fun. It's great. Where can I find that amazing lo-fi track that was playing during the break? So, it's inside of a playlist called Video Game Study Lounge that I use sometimes. Fairy Fountain by Jacoby and Game Chops is this, if this is what you mean. If you want this lo-fi Fairy Fountain mix, that's who did it. So Jokabi. The song before that was Ballad of the Windfish by DJ Cutman. So those are the two songs that played during the breaks. I got my loom knitting kit from Home Bargains for £5. That's where we got ours, was out of Home Bargains. I was like, oh my God, I haven't done this in years, forever. So. No, this is a pre-made playlist. That's why I'm saying you can go on Spotify, look up the playlist called Video Game Study Lounge. The picture is Roll from Mega Man with like a pen in her hand looking at a book. It's just got a bunch of good chill music on it. Jokabi, Jacoby. Does Clarke have an accent at all from Sam? From Sam? No, probably not. From being at preschool with a bunch of British children? Yeah, for sure. We live in England. For anybody who doesn't know that. We live in England, so I'm the only American, aside from my parents, I'm the only American that she talks to every day. She talks to my parents occasionally, but everybody else that she interacts with is English. So. To be fair, Sam's accent is like is ever so slightly skewed. He has a little American twang in his accent now. But so does Clarke, and it's cute. We moved December of 2019. So, has she asked why you sound different? No. The preschool that she goes to is like pretty multicultural. So when we like drop her off, you'll hear parents who are speaking in other languages with other accents. You know, like I think she's consistently hearing people that sound like all kinds of things. So yeah, there's also that, right? To her, this is just I'm just mommy. This is how mommy talks, right? I don't have an accent to her. It's just how I speak. Yeah, her preschool has stayed open. They have pretty strict rules, but technically they are like a nursery setting, and nurseries or like early childcare has been allowed to stay open. Schools have reopened now where we are, just in general, but yeah. So they were able to keep everything open. There was one period of about 2 weeks where they shut everything down because there were 2 cases inside of the nursery. So the way that it's set up, they try to have it so that it's like there are specific pods of kids and teachers. And so if somebody gets sick from one pod, then that pod just has to stay home for 2 weeks. But somebody from one pod and somebody from another pod in like a really close period of time got sick. And so it was one of the kids tested positive and a parent of one of the kids tested positive in another pod. And so they were like, everybody stay home. Just everybody stay home for, 2 weeks. We'll reassess, see what we want to do. So Clarke had some time when she wasn't going during like Christmas. And then, and then they were back for like maybe 2 sessions before, because Christmas, maybe 2 sessions before somebody tested positive. And so they shut it down for another, I want to say 2.5 weeks, something like that. And then everybody came back, and that's when they put out the blast that was like, we need everybody to be taking this fucking seriously. Like, when you drop off your kid, be wearing a mask, right? Stand on the lines that we ask you to stand on, right? Like, just follow our rules. We're like going above and beyond, trying really hard to make sure that we can stay in business and help you guys out and be there to watch your kids. But like, we just need to, not saying that people can't get it even when they're being hypervigilant, but just to reiterate, right? Like, we can only stay in business and be able to like have school here if people don't get sick. And if people do get sick, then we have to shut it down again. So yeah. And nobody's gotten sick since then. So yay. But yeah, so she's in preschool. Long story short, she's in preschool. And she's having a blast, and she wants to stay for longer now. She has 1 full day that she goes, and then the others are half days. And when we pick her up on the half days, she's like, basically like, why are you here? I want to stay. And I was like, oh, she's like not even 3 yet. Like, that seems so extreme to have her there for like full days. And Sam's mom was like, she's fine. She's obviously having a great time. She's learning a lot, Does she understand what's happening in terms of the pandemic? It's hard to explain that to a toddler, but we just keep reiterating. Like today when we went to B&Q, I put on my mask, and she was like, Mommy, why do we have to put on masks? And I was like, well, you know how if you stood behind a wall, because we've explained to her many times, like, a lot of people are sick right now, and we're trying really hard to make sure that we don't get other people sick and other people don't get us sick, right? So she knows that's what the masks are for. Yes, she does wear a mask. If she asks to take it off, I let her take it off. But she'll always wear it initially, and sometimes she'll wear it the whole time. But yeah, she was like, why do we wear masks? And so I was like, maybe I'll just explain what the masks do. Maybe that'll help. Because she's learning a lot about germs right now. So I was like, well, if you stood behind a wall and I threw a ball where you are on the other side of the wall, it would hit the wall first, right? Like, it wouldn't hit you, it would hit the wall. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, so that's kind of what the masks do for us, is that if there are germies in the air, they'll hit the mask and they won't hit our face. And so they won't get us sick. And also, if we have germies that we could give somebody else, it'll hit the mask on the other side, right? It's like a wall to help other people too. And something clicked for her, I think, where she was like, oh. Yeah, it does help though that she's like, I don't want to say she's super into germs right now, but like I think is watching a lot of videos about germ because all of the kids channels, right, have been making videos that are like, wash your hands, make sure you wash your hands, we don't want germs on our hands, right, blah blah blah. So she's like, she talks about germs a lot recently, and I try to sort of, because I don't want her obsessing over germs, so I try to be like, well, as long as we're washing our hands before we eat, and as long as we're brushing our teeth, and blah 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 blah, we'll be fine. Like, you don't have to worry about germs all the time. It's okay. It's okay to get dirty. It's okay to have fun, as long as we're taking the time to be clean. So I guess because she like asks about germs a lot and is watching stuff about germs, it made it a lot easier for me to be like, well, germs. She's like, boy, do I ever. Germs, of course. Germs, my nemesis. I worry about germs a lot, and when this all started, my anxiety skyrocketed for a while. Now I just get periods of time with anxiety. I'm sorry. Yeah, I saw a couple of other people saying something similar. I'm sure if you already had any kind of like a germ phobia, or if you tend to be concerned about that, I'm sure that this has been awful, right? There's a reason that so many videos came out that were like, here are, above and beyond steps that you can do to try and protect yourself, because if we're going to be out here saying like, everybody's still got to go and get their own groceries and stuff, then for some people it's going to feel like almost impossible to leave the house. Like, the anxiety must be awful. Yeah, for sure. I can't remember her name. I feel really bad, but I was watching an interview with an older lady. Um and she was goofing a little bit. She was like, "Oh, I'm sure all of the other people that you've interviewed have said, that they've learned another language and that they can now run a triathlon and stuff." And she was like, "To be honest, I haven't really done anything." But she was like, "One thing that I've definitely noticed is that, I was crazy before, but like now it's really out of control, because before I could talk through everything that was going on in my head with somebody else, and it's harder to do that right now, to like have a conversation with somebody about things that I'm feeling anxious about, or things that are upsetting me, and have somebody else be there to be the voice of reason and say like, you don't really need to worry about that, or like, to just help me get it out." She was like, "I don't have that right now, and I've realized how unhealthy that is for me." But I do think like when I'm very in my head, a lot of times if I'm able to like say it out loud, the second I say something out loud typically is when I'm like, why am I so worried about that? like it feels so huge in here. And if you can just say it, or writing, I've said this before, right? Sometimes when I felt really like sad about something, if I write down everything, like all of the like negative thoughts that I have about myself, or all of the things that are like really upsetting me, or any of that, a lot of times I'll look at the list and be like, God, why does this feel so much bigger before I see it written down, or before I say it out loud, right? It feels so. This is why when one of my friends was getting married, she was like, "I just feel like there's so much to do, right? Like I'm just falling apart because I have so much to do before the wedding." And I was like, "Okay, well, let's make a list. Like, what all is it? What all is it that you need to do?" And by the time we had actually talked through it, we were like, "Cool, so you have two things." cool. So you have 2 things that you need to do. And everything else has to happen on the day. So that's great, right? It's only 2 things. That's awesome. And I can help with one of those things if you want. And she was like, God, why did it feel like it was so much more than that? You know? But I think that that's a common thing is, it just gets so big in here. You know, it gets so huge in here because you don't put it into words sometimes. And then once you put it into words, you're like, oh. Not to downplay, obviously, some of the things that you'll be thinking are worthy of a lot of, you know, attention and anxiety. But sometimes when you write them down or say them out loud, they feel less overpowering, and it feels more like something you can deal with, you know? Are we talking about ADHD? Not precisely, no. We're just talking about like that phenomena that a lot of people have where if you're worried about something, it feels huge. But sometimes when you say what it is that you're worried about, or if you write down what it is that you're worried about and you see it or you hear yourself say it, you're like, that actually wasn't that big of a deal. But the reason that we started talking about that was because I had said that I watched an interview with a lady who was saying like they don't have anybody to bounce that stuff off of right now because of lockdown and they're older. So she was like, it's difficult for me to tell by myself if something is a big deal or not. You know, because I don't have that same access to people that I did before to be able to like talk through shit, basically. Oh, we'll all get through it. It's going to be all right. It's just, I was talking about this with my sister-in-law, like remembering this time last year when everybody was like, cool, so a couple months of lockdown. Okay. I can do that. Might be a little fun. And go on walks. Little did we know. I'll make bread. I did make bread, to be fair. I've made so much. God. I can't make bread anymore. I'm done. Yeah, I'm trying to like last year. I'm trying to throw myself into gardening again. This house has all of these weird little outdoor planters that are like built into the house and built into the car park. So that's one of the reasons that we got a bunch of flowers. But Sam was laughing at me because we came home and Sam had like taken a shower and stuff to do Monster Hunter. So we got home and he was like, hey, guys get some plants. That's fun. What did you get? Right. And we were like showing him and I was like, but I don't have soil. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, can't lift the bags. Cannot lift the bags of soil. So no soil. So either we can go together at some point and get some soil, or I'll just order soil, I guess. Because I can't I can't lift it by myself. You can get it delivered. Yeah, that's what I did last year. So I'll just get it delivered. He was like, did you try to pick it up? I was like, oh yeah. He's like, you probably could have asked somebody who was working there. I was like, no. No, it's fine. I'll just order it. It's not that I'm against asking somebody to help me with the soil. It's that there was nobody in the outdoor nursery area, and my desire to go seek somebody out while also wrangling a toddler was negative too. So it's like, I'll just buy the plants and go. It's fine. I need dirt. I need your specialist dirt, please. Clarke is going to be turning 3 in April. So she's almost 3. My sweet sweetheart. I know, she's so big, dude. We've gotten to a new stage of her saying, so like for a while now, I've understood literally everything that she's tried to say to me. We like never hit walls where she says something and I'm like, huh? Over this last week, suddenly I can't understand words occasionally, and I'm realizing it's because she's like rapidly trying to put new words into her vocabulary, and I haven't heard her try to say those words before. So like her most recent one is entangled. It took me a couple tries to be like, oh my god, you're saying entangled. She had she had asked for some yarn, and I was like, okay. So I gave her some yarn, and she was playing the fishing game, and she stood up and it wrapped around her legs, and she started to fall, and she was like, Mommy, I'm entangled. I was like, what? Mommy, I'm entangled. It's like, wow, that's a great word and used correctly. Incredible. So, yeah. Lung is one that is hard for me to it's not like a difficult word, and she's known the word lung for a while, but because she's like really into talking about organs and things, don't ask, because she's really into talking about organs and things lately, she asks if things have lungs, and sometimes it takes me a couple tries of like, do they have what? She's like, Mommy, do cats have lungs? Don't ask. She just finds bodies really fascinating, and I answer all of her questions like completely honestly. And so sometimes for her little toddler brain, they just lead to more questions. So she's asking about everybody's bones. She asks to like touch people's bones now, which is something that I need to curb. She asks about our organs. Her thing today was, Mommy, how does our tummy make poop? So I had to try and explain to her like what our tummies do to food, and and why some of it turns into poop. It's a lot. She just asks about bodies a lot. So yeah, she knows that there are skeletons in us. That's where all the bone stuff came from, because she saw, the little bone on your ankle that pokes out. She was like, Mommy, what is this? And I was like, oh, it's part of the skeleton. Remember like the skull is in our head, and the skeleton hands are where our hands are. The skeleton feet are where our feet are. And some places our skin is really thin, and the bones, you can like kind of knock on them almost. And so we did an activity where we were finding bones, like what bones can you knock on, right? So we were like knocking on our heads and on our elbows, and on her knees and stuff. I was like, there's some places where you can't feel the bones, but some places you can, which is why now she like will see Sherlock sometimes and be like, Mommy, can I feel Sherlock's bones? I'm like, I'd rather you didn't, honey. So yeah, she doesn't think that they're in the stomach anymore. She knows that when you eat food, it goes into your belly. And then she was like, there are germs in the belly that eat the food. And I was like, it might be easier to explain that differently. I tried to explain what acid is, and I don't think that that really worked. I think I need to attempt acid another time. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is I was like, well, there are good and bad germs, good and bad bacteria, and there are some that do good that like I'm getting to the point now where I feel like I need to look shit up. I need to look stuff up so that I'm prepared, right? Like, okay, what does she know now? What could she potentially ask about next? I need to be prepared. I wonder if Clarke ever asks those things to other kids. I don't know. Clarke is my child. She's almost 2. Almost 3. Oh my God. She's almost 3. I almost made her sound like a fucking genius. Yeah. She is. Yeah, she asks a lot of questions. All the time questions. Which is awesome. And I love it. Curious Clarke. Has she ever asked something really inappropriate? I don't know what would really count as inappropriate. It depends on who you are. I don't think it's inappropriate, but she's asked things like, Mommy, what are willies for? Mommy, what are boobs for? Right? And answered those questions. Which is why she walks in, at 6 in the morning, and the first thing she says to me is, Mommy, boobs are for feeding babies. They sure are, honey. I need to make a coffee. Has she done the typical toddler thing where they ask something embarrassing about another person loudly in public? So there was one situation that I just honestly found funny because I don't know this person, so I don't really care if they're offended by my child. But we were buying something at the store, and Clarke pointed at a lady behind me and was like, that is a stranger and I do not like them. Like loudly. And I was like, well, we shouldn't talk to strangers, should we? Because we don't know that person. And she was like, yeah, we shouldn't talk to them. They're a stranger. And I was like, yep. Anyway, bye. At which point you trapped yourself into not being able to say sorry. Why would I say sorry? My kid is saying literally exactly what you want your kid to say, which is, I don't know that person. Fuck that person. I'm not talking to them. They're a stranger. Definitely, I want my toddler saying that. Absolutely. again, if an adult is going to be offended that a toddler was like, that's a stranger and I don't like them and I'm not talking to them, that's honestly their problem. I mean, when I said it back to her, I wasn't like, yeah, we hate that person. But I did reiterate the things that I thought were good, which is like, yes, that is a stranger. We don't know them. Huh. So if you were on your own, you would not talk to them. Um, Sort of stuff. And we've had lots of conversations that are like, um, just like safety conversations that are things that I will continue to have with her, because at this point I don't think that she fully understands what I mean, but just like laying groundwork, right? Of like, you know, a person that you trust isn't necessarily, you don't, basically trying to tell her, just because you think that somebody is mommy and daddy's friend or is somebody that you've seen a lot, what's important is if they make you feel safe, right? So, if there's something that you need to tell an adult, find an adult that makes you feel safe. And like, do you feel comfortable with them? Are they somebody who never asks you to keep secrets for one reason or another, right? Like, is it somebody who makes you feel comfortable and safe? That's the important thing about the adult, not whether or not you think that they're mommy and daddy's friend or that, their family or whatever. If there's something important that you need to tell somebody, find an adult or talk to an adult that makes you specifically feel safe. Because I feel like a lot of times it's like, well, you can absolutely trust X, Y, and Z people. And I don't really want to tell Clarke that. I want to teach Clarke to trust her instincts on like who makes her feel safe. So yeah, having conversations like that, which is why if she sees somebody and is like, I don't like them, I'm not talking to them, I'm like, hell yeah, girl. Don't talk to them then. Trust that shit. Why is the Octo Gang rising up? Why is the Octo Gang coming out? There they are. There they are. It's a million of them. The Octo Gang. God damn. They're so powerful. So strong. Octo makes us feel safe. Wonderful. He makes me feel safe too. I still have, I'm surprised that nobody's been like, it's really bothering me that Wingspan is on its side instead of upright. But Wingspan, you're a bird enthusiast seeking to discover and attract the best birds to your aviary. Each bird extends a chain of powerful combinations in one of your habitats. This game recently, every single, I'm upset that the Strahd box is in the middle of the floor. Look, I was using the DM screen so that Sam couldn't see what the fuck I was doing yesterday. So I yoinked the one from the Strahd box. I'm sorry to upset you. Yeah, like every list of like, these are the best board games I've played recently has Wingspan on it. So I was like, I'm just going to buy it. Apparently it's beautiful and very fun. It also won an award. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm an albatross. Birds are sky rats. I mean, I love rats as well, so. Are you going to play Monster Hunter Rise? I don't know. Maybe. I normally play Monster Hunter for like a hot minute and I have fun with it and then I stop. So. Oh, hi. I thought you were Clarke.
Can you stand on my back?
Yeah. Should I go to BRB?
I mean, if you want, you can just do it here.
Want to watch how I crack Sam's back? It's probably going to horrify you. Okay. Oh, Jesus. You ready?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
That's that good shit.
I don't know if you could hear it, but it was insane. The number of cracks that happen when I do that. Now that's a dynamic. Why was his butt wet? His butt isn't wet. He's had those trousers for so long that they're basically see-through. Thomas Fireheart, thank you very much for the gifted subs. Yeah, my mom did that for my dad's back my entire life growing up. I don't know if that's a safe thing to do, but it's literally the only way I can crack Sam's back. So. I know exactly where to like, because I basically do like a tiny jump on him and I know the exact spot on his back to do it, to crack it. So it feels pretty like there isn't a lot of like, oops, that didn't work, you know.
Welcome, you fine.
Yeah, Axel, thank you very much for the gifted subs as well. Guys, if you were gifted a sub, please check who it was. Take the time to say thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah. Sam's not great at cracking mine. I can crack my own pretty well though. But the bear hug thing, sometimes when you're really small and there's a much larger person, they can like basically bear hug you and crack your back. For whatever reason, it doesn't work super well with Sam and I. So I normally just crack my own back if I feel like I need it. How do you crack your own back? I don't know if you could hear that, but you do that. Also, I would stand with like a wood chair, like right here, and then just like kind of push my back along it, basically. No, I do this, and he like holds me like this. So I'm like this, and then his arms are around the front, and then he lifts me up and kind of like squeezes me while pulling me backwards, which is exactly the way that other people have done it for me in the past. But for some reason, I don't know what it is. For some reason, it just does not work very well when Sam does it. Maybe he's too tall. I don't think that's the issue. Like, I feel like he should be able to do what I just did, but just with his hands, right? I should be able to lay on the ground, and he should be able to, like, it should look like a superhero movie. He should be able to just put his gigantic hand, like, right on my upper back and just, right? Like, surely that would work. Maybe he's too gentle. I don't think that's the issue. I don't think that's the problem. Considering that whenever I've been like, could you just massage my back a little bit? The second he starts, I'm like, ow, stop. I'm 5 foot and Sam is 6'4". It's getting dark. I'm turning blue. The signs of mid-afternoon. Yeah, he's not like obscenely tall. He just looks very tall next to me. Like, he is tall. He bangs his head on shit all the time. But, like, you know. Grounding. Yeah, this morning when we went to the garden center, it was gorgeous. It was so bright. And then it poured rain the second we started streaming. And now it's overcast. The joys of England, I guess. Yeah, I'm trying to remember when Sam and I first got together, he would ask me to try and like crack his back with my hands. And I finally was like, my mom used to just walk on my dad's back. Can I try just walking on your back? And it was like the only way that I've ever been successful at it. So we're like a step on me meme now. I'll just walk in sometimes and be like, will you step on me, please? Will you crack my back? Bye, Cosmosis. Thanks for swinging by. I hope you have a good class. This conversation reminds me of when I was first attempting to watch Haikyuu, and I was watching it with Sam, and every person that they would introduce being like, holy shit, they're so tall. Sam would be like, it's like, it's Japan, okay? It's like, I don't have the same average heights that we do here. He was like, everybody's talking about how tall these guys are and they're shorties. I was like, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I stumbled onto an area of the internet that I did not want to be in. You know, there's all that like, you know, are you an alpha or are you a beta? So I found out that there's also sigmas, which is basically like the fancy way of being like, I'm a lone wolf. But the best part of it is a true sigma doesn't realize that they're a sigma. So there's this element of like, you can't say that you're a Sigma because otherwise you're definitely not a Sigma. It's so funny. It's incredible. So the idea of a Sigma is that they are at the same level of power as an alpha, but they don't realize it and they don't care. They're outside of the proverbial pack dynamic. They are a lone wolf doing their own thing, but have incredible power all on their own. So the example that all of these pictograph things gave is Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is a quintessential Sigma male because he has great power and is very humble and doesn't really realize it, is the idea. So I immediately went into the boys chat and I was like, so I've now found out there are Sigma males. So I'm gonna need everybody to decide who's a Sigma male in here. And they were like, God damn it. When are they gonna come up with, like, why do we keep making more? Why are there more of these labels? I can't. How did you get to that part of the internet? I don't know. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, I don't on it. Here's the thing though. You might think like, Dodger was looking up Omegaverse stuff, but I don't think I was. I literally don't know how I found this. It found you. Oh, that's worse. That's worse though. Twitter, maybe? I saw a tweet making fun of Sigma males. Maybe? Twitter? Twitter? Was it Twitter? No idea. It was going around a couple of weeks ago. Interesting. Anyways. Sherborne and Moon were talking about that personality test stuff. Like aggressive betas and gentle alphas. I hate it. Here's the thing. I find a lot of humor in it, which is why I'm bringing it up now, because I find it funny. I hate that there is 100% a subculture of people who believe that these things are real, like, categories of humans. That I hate. I hate that. It's not even real in wolves. Exactly. It's not even a real wolf thing. I hate it. But it's funny, but I hate it. The only true alpha is the one from Power Rangers. Oh my god, what a line. What a beautiful line. I'll hate it once I find out which subtype I am. Hi, Nick. How are you? I had a dream about you. Seeing your name made me recall that I had wacky dreams last night. I had a dream about you last night, but what happened in it? We can just leave it ambiguous. I had a dream about you last night. It was probably cool. We were probably hanging out. We were probably being awesome. I don't know. Did one of you dab? Maybe. I wish more people would say, hi, I had a dream about you to me. I've been like I don't know if it's because of like what I'm eating right before bed. I don't know if it's one of those sorts of situations, but like the last 2 or 3 nights, I want to say, I've had wacky fucking dreams. And so I keep throughout the day seeing things and then being like, holy shit, I had a dream about this. It's like the moral thing. When we were talking about Callus Row, and I was like, yeah, moral, blah, 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 blah. And then, oh my God, I just realized that I had a dream about Callus Row, right? Like, which, by the way, I brought up to Sketchu the idea. I was like, oh, so I was thinking, like, because sometimes, you know, Clarke will just walk in while I'm playing Callus Row or whatever. It would be nice if I had a different idle animation in case I have to, like, suddenly take the headset off. And so we were talking about that. And then it was brought up, like, wait, isn't that a terrible idea? And I was like, why? They're like, because even if you're idling, somebody can just come up and shoot you or still try to interact with you and not realize that you're idle. So they were like, honestly, it would probably be better. It might annoy some people, but like you're a parent, so like it's just how it has to be. But like if you need to be with your kid like now, it's better to just log out and then log back in. Because otherwise, when you're idling, literally anything can happen to your character. And I was like, I had not thought of that. But also, we were talking about like, because in character, we've talked about me living with the other myconoids. And so I was like, yeah, there's an area in the myconoid house that's like just open with no door. Morel already sleeps outside. So, you know, maybe they could like take over that area. And they were like, oh, that would be perfect. That can be your idle area. So we can treat that as like your safe zone. So if you are able to plan to walk away, that can be where you go and like go into idle. So yeah. But I had a nice long convo with Sketchu about stuff for Moral, and I'm very excited. Well, like the whole so story-wise, Morel found all of their clothes in the dumpster. So I was like, it might actually be hilarious if, and I don't know how feasible this is, but it would be really funny to me if slowly over time more and more like weird shit was in Morel's like sleeping area. Like they just keep bringing stuff home. But yeah. Well, so the like yes, obviously if I left it as the meditation thing, anybody who plays VR chat would be like, that person's AFK for one reason or another. But like in the interest of like not breaking immersion, because everybody's LARPing, right? In the interest of not breaking immersion, I had said, because I had a dream about this, I had said, oh, it would be cool because Morel has headphones. Like, it would be really cool if there's an idle animation that's like somebody like doing this, like just kind of like you know, like rocking out to themselves. I was like, if Morel can have like the headphones on, so the idea is like they can't hear anybody, they're just kind of like in their own head, right? But yeah, they were like, it might not be clear enough that you're idle, you know. Yeah, just cat jamming, you know, just doing a little cat jam. The other idea I had was that when I go idle, I just turn into an actual mushroom. But I don't think that that can work either. I think because then that would literally be changing the model. But if literally Moral just became like the same color as like the mushroom cap, right? If Moral just became like a big mushroom just on the ground. Maybe I could just ask for that. Maybe I'll just ask for that. I'll be like, can you make me a model that's just like a tiny one where I'm just a mushroom? And if I need to go AFK, I'll just change to the mushroom model. That would be pretty funny. The concept is cool though. Yeah. Yes, exactly. And so I was thinking like it would be really cool to do something with the headphones if like, but I don't think stuff like turning on the radio and things like that, because there's a radio system inside of Callus Row. I don't think that turning on the radio that can proc like a character animation. I don't think. But if it could, it would be cool if there was like almost like a slash visor kind of thing where like the headphones go on when they're on the radio. But Callus Row is a VR LARP. So it's based on Shadowrun, and it happens in VR chat, and everybody has like little character sheets that kind of act as like RP guidelines, and you have different zones, like everybody lives in specific areas or works in specific areas, and events happen, and it's very fun. Here she comes. Hello.
Welcome, you fine cat-loving, coffee-drinking burrito babe.
It's a type of germ.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea. Were you thinking about that as you woke up? You're thinking about germs? Yeah.
Germs don't know how to skate.
Germs don't know how to skate? That's true. Do you know how to skate?
Yeah.
You do?
Mommy.
Yes, honey.
We can teach germs how to skate.
We could try to teach germs how to skate, sure. Would you like to sit with me? We can say bye to chat together. What would you like to do? Hi, cutie pie. Here, let me back up a little. You can sit on my lap if you want.
Mommy.
Yes, my darling.
Mommy.
Yes, baby.
I wanted to play the game that you were playing.
I didn't play a game today, actually. I just sat and talked for a while. Do you want to talk about something? He. Somebody asked, how are you? Clarke, how are you?
Good.
You good? Any other questions? What animal is on your shirt, Clarke? Somebody asked. What are they?
Cheetahs.
Cheetahs. Yes, correct. What's your favorite color? Someone asked.
Black.
Black?
Black and white.
Black and white. Nice. What are you doing? Someone wants to know if the mic tastes good.
It doesn't taste good.
It doesn't, huh? Because we're not supposed to eat mics, are we? No, so it doesn't taste good.
But we can get a mic for pretend.
You can eat it for pretend, sure. Somebody wants to know if you had a dream. Did you have a dream last night?
Yeah.
What did you dream about? Do you remember?
Yeah, I had a dream. My astronaut sleeping bag.
Oh, you had a dream about a sleeping bag?
No, I dreamed. It's showing you all your shirt.
It is showing all of the shirts. Yeah, Mommy and Daddy have all of those shirts, don't we?
It's like you.
That is supposed to be me, yeah. Drinking a little coffee.
It's showing us my baby.
What are you doing? Are you pretending to eat the mic?
Yeah. We don't want to eat microphones.
We don't want to eat microphones. They're yucky. They don't taste good, huh? Mm-mm. Ow. Bonky bonky. What should we do for the rest of the day? You've just woken up from quiet time. What are we going to do today? What do you think? Should we go for a walk, do you think?
Yep.
Yep. Cool. We'll go for a walk. No, Clarke doesn't... You don't like when I do anything with your hair, do you? You don't like when I brush it. You don't like when I put it in a ponytail. You want to be wild and free, huh, Clarke?
I'm gonna just want my hair like yeah.
I just want my hair like this. Yep. Always and forever.
No.
What are you doing?
Because I don't want to go on a walk.
We don't have to go on a walk if you don't want to. We don't have to go on a walk. We don't have to go on a walk. We can stay home. Yucky. For pretend. For pretend.
Yeah. I think so.
What's up? What are you trying to do?
Can help me do this?
Are you trying to put it back there?
Yeah.
Right there? Is that okay?
No, yeah. What is that?
That?
Yeah.
That's a picture for a song that I was playing.
I wanted to play it with you.
No, it's just a song, baby. So I was playing the song, so the music was playing. I wasn't playing a game without you, though. I didn't play a game today. I just hung out. You know what we could do? Because you love taking pieces out of boxes, is Mommy got a new game. Do you see that game over there with the bird on it? We could open that up and we could see if there are any pieces that need to be popped out, like little cardboard pieces. Would that be fun? Yeah, and we can see if we can figure out how to play. It's another song.
Yeah, maybe I think it's another song about a book flying back to its daddy and mommy and sister and brother.
Oh, that would be a good song, huh? We could open it up and figure out how it plays and look at all the pieces, because apparently it's very pretty. And we could play some music at the same time and we could cover all the bases. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could bring out your dancing pieces so the dance can music.
Sure. We don't need anything to dance, though, do we? If there's music playing, we can dance as much as we want, huh? Okay, I'm going to read off. Clarke, put your shirt down. I'm going to read off all of the names. High five? Do you want to help me read the names off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I go want to read the names off.
Okay, do you want to just sit with me and I'll read the names?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Elodie, thank you for the 34 months. Mr. Bitterness for the 41. Sean Sod for the 9. Happy Twitch baby. Arkwin for the 23. Scarfleet Skater for the 17. Springfart for the 56. Johnich for the 23. Junior is Junior for the 5. Siddalee for the 25. Yes.
Maybe it's a Zoomy.
Maybe it's a Jeremy. Who's a Jeremy?
Maybe that guy is a Zoomy.
This guy.
Yeah.
It could be, yeah. Adam Batter, thank you for the 8. Pocket Mouse for the 3. Conical Coffee for the 1 year. Watch this, Clarke. Whoa! Happy anniversary. Missing Digit for the 9. Happy Twitch baby. Evil Lollipop for the 13. A Jackal. Ready? Woo! Happy 1 year. Happy anniversary. Dark Sight for the 39. Megan Series for the 57. Chueris for the 32. Chrissy for the 75. Sir Serpentine for the 45. Jade Raven Arts for the 31. Zico for the 64. Akaran for the 42. Thomas Fireheart and Yaxel, thank you very much for all the gifted subs. Baby Cakes for the 13. Gran for the 2. Svensonitis for the 50. Nadriachi for the 57. N4085 for subscribing.
You fine
There's a cat.
loving.
There's a cat.
And
N4085 for subscribing. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Third Culture, thank you for the gifted sub. Flint Whitelock for the 30. Thank you very, very much, guys. Appreciate it.
I want to meet the cat again.
You want to see the cats again?
Yeah.
Okay, here. It's nobody's anniversary. Well, maybe it's...
Ah!
Meow! And this, it glitches out a lot. Yeah, at a certain point in the cycle, it always glitches for some reason. But what are you going to do, you know? Are you singing a song for them? Can you sing a song for them to dance to?
Mikey Bubble Bee.
Uh-huh.
Mikey Bubble Bee. Mikey Bubble Bee.
Okay.
Mikey Bubble Bee.
Sending you all over to Sam.
Mikey
My sweet love.
Bee.
I'm going to go be mama. But I will be back for another stream tonight at 9 p.m. GMT, doing some study hall stuff, doing crafts or something.
Make it booba, make it booba, make it booba.
I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
I want your cookies again.
I know you do, honey. I'll show them to you in a minute, okay? Bye, everybody.